I feel like it's gonna be a lovemaking, not just sex. Never have I been involved with lovemaking. I got underwear. I got some underwear. It's real cute, soft, and something that leaves for him to feel like when he touches down the side.
Oh no, this has flashbacks of Kim and Usman. As Renee packs her luggage and her tactile underwear, she's daydreaming about what it's gonna be like to finally be able to make love to her boyfriend Chidi. But something tells me she's in for a nasty surprise.
I have something to tell you. I'm not sleeping on the same bed with you and in the same room with you.
That hurts. That's like stabbing me in the heart.
Yikes. Chidi could definitely have timed that better. I mean, he's known her for 5 years, but he left it to the very last minute to reveal the truth. But before we get into that, let's rewind to the start. So we join Renee in this episode as she's packing to get ready to go to Nigeria. And judging by the state of her bedroom, the countless dolls, trolls, aliens, teddy bears and Alice in Wonderland books, you really get the sense that this 37-year-old mother of two is living in a fairy tale. But the one thing that's really preoccupying all her thoughts right now is what it's gonna be like to finally be in Chidi's arms.
After 5 years, finally getting to be physical with a man that you love that much and intimate is just gonna be like, it's gonna take me out of this world. It's gonna be so amazing.
Chidi hasn't told Renee that he believes in abstinence, and not only will they not be having sex, but they'll also be sleeping in separate rooms. But the question is, why hasn't he told her? Is this a sign of things to come? I mean, if he hasn't been honest about this, what else might he not have been honest about? Well, whatever the reason may be, one thing's for sure, Renee is gonna be bitterly disappointed.
I feel like it's gonna be a lovemaking, not just sex. Never have I been involved with lovemaking. I got underwear. I got some underwear. It's real cute, soft, and something that leaves for him to feel like when he touches down the side.
Now, for as thoughtful as her textured, tactile underwear choice is, isn't it interesting how she's really inflated how sex with Chidi will be? I'm gonna be making love for the very first time, she excitedly tells us. And perhaps that's because she's had 5 long years of thinking about what that will be like. But as she says goodbye to her kids, as they both hug her one last time and talk about how much they love and worry about her.
I hope she stays safe because I love my mom a lot.
It unfortunately becomes immediately clear why her kids and everyone else for that matter are so concerned. You see, by her own admission, Renee is headed to Nigeria having done absolutely no homework on the country or the culture.
Here I am about to fly all the way across the world, and I absolutely know nothing about Legos, Nigeria. I'm definitely terrified of coming back with ass worms and a rash.
Excuse me? Arseworms? Is that what Renee thinks of Chidi's country? Is she going there thinking it's dirty and she's gonna get worms? I mean, if so, that feels a little racist. But sorry, Chidi, it's too late now. She's on a plane on her way to you. No takebacks.
I'm excited. I'm ready to see you, Chidi. You better be ready for me. I'm coming. And you can't run.
That you can't run. That look in her eyes is enough to scare anyone. Chidi has absolutely no idea what's in store, does he? Renee's ready to devour him. Now, over in Nigeria, Chidi's excitedly getting ready for Renee's arrival. He's rejoicing, he's praising the Lord that she's gonna be here very soon.
Today is a great day indeed, and I am rejoicing to go and meet with the love of my life. Oh my God. I can't just wait to get to that airport.
Chidi and his brother-in-law, Bernard, go to the airport together, and the only thing that's on Chidi's mind is how great it's going to be to touch Rayne for the very first time. He tells us that Rayne has described to him what she looks like, but what I want more than anything, he says, is to use my own senses to build a picture in my mind of what the love of my life looks like. But, he importantly and ironically it turns out, points out to us, mine and Rayne's love is so deep that I'm going to be able to sense that she's here just from our emotional connection.
I will know when Rayne is here because I will feel it. I don't need to see. We are going to connect emotionally, not with eyes, but with hearts. The heart will do more of the speaking.
Chidi seems to share exactly the same naive, childlike wonder about life and love as Rayne does. And just like her, he too is absolutely convinced that the pair of them are soulmates. In fact, Rayne takes it one step further. He's the love of my life, he's my soulmate, so of course I'll immediately know where he is. I'll immediately recognise him, she tells us.
I'm gonna know it's Chidi when I approach him and I see that sexy smile lit up. He calls himself my soulmate, we're meant to be, therefore he's mine.
So imagine the irony then, or perhaps the omen then, after both of them independently telling us how sure they are that they'll recognise and know each other. They both then happen to miss each other. Rayne walks right past him, and when Chidi's brother-in-law points her in the right direction, Chidi also needs to be told that she's there. Yeah, a far cry from his boast from earlier on.
She's here. She's here. Your front.
Oh my God, this is not a dream.
Look, even though we all predict that their romance is doomed to disaster, this, right here, is a very special moment. But it doesn't last too long. You see, almost immediately, as Chidi begins using his other senses to build an image in his mind of what Rayne looks like, he's not exactly subtle about his opinions.
You look big.
Huh?
You look big.
I'm almost the height of you, huh?
But you're big. I like your statue. You are not slim.
Now, keep in mind that Rayne has already told us she's very self-conscious about her body. In fact, one of the things that appealed to her about Chidi being blind was the fact that she wouldn't have to worry about how she looks. She'd, for the first time, no longer have to turn all the lights off or keep her clothes on when she has sex. So, for Chidi to immediately, within seconds of meeting her, come out with that must really hurt. Now, to be fair to him, he does go on to tell her that she's perfect. He reiterates that she's all he's ever wanted in a woman. But still, as far as first impressions go, you've got to imagine that that one's gonna sting. But Rayne does do a good job of hiding how she may be feeling. In fact, she's completely consumed with getting her hands all over him.
I can't wait to put my hands all over him and kiss those sexy lips of his and his eyes and give him back rubs and get him just used to physical touch with me.
I wonder if Chidi's alarmed and shocked by this, because he knows that the second they get home, as soon as Rayne discovers their sleeping arrangements, this romantic bubble is about to pop. But as they head to Chidi's sister's house where they'll be staying, Rayne reveals something else that may become an issue even sooner.
I've talked to his sister a little bit here and there. I have nothing against her as a person, but ever since I was young, I've always had this feeling about some sort of drama or something in the future with the man's sister.
Oh, come on. Not only is Rayne a conspiracy theorist, but now we learn she's a clairvoyant too. Her spirit has informed her that she's gonna butt heads with a man's sister one day. I mean, that's not exactly a good foundation, a positive footing to go into the very first meeting with Chidi's sister. It's as if, regardless of how bubbly and super excited Chidi's sister is to have her there, Rayne is already gearing up to butt heads.
Hey! I like your hair. Thank you. Oh, baby.
Surely, with a greeting like that, any negative feelings that Rayne may have would dissipate. At least you'd hope so. But Rayne genuinely looks uncomfortable with Victoria. But any drama with her is about to take a back seat, because after Rayne refreshes herself and gets ready for bed, as she braces for her first night together with her man, there's now nowhere left for Chidi to hide. It's finally time for him to confront the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the elephant in separate rooms.
I have something to tell you. If there is anything I crave and pray for every day, is we sleep together with you, but I believe it should be done at the right time.
Chidi and Rayne have been in a virtual relationship for years. Chidi's known for months that Rayne will be flying to Nigeria to meet him. So what he's done here isn't fair. He's deliberately withheld information from her that's prevented her from making an informed decision. I'm sorry, he should have afforded her that respect, shouldn't he? I mean, he should have told her the facts and let her make up her own mind about whether or not she's okay with being celibate. But instead, he's let her fly across the world to join him in Nigeria and then waited until seconds before they're getting ready to go to bed to finally have the courage to bring it up.
Not sleeping on the same bed with you and in the same room with you. Hope you understand.
Yeah, this isn't cool. Rayne might be a little cuckoo, but we know, in fact, Chidi should know that she has self-esteem issues. To have flown all the way to Nigeria to first be called big, and now, after she's been flirting with Chidi all day, after Chidi's allowed her to flirt with him all day, it's now left her feeling rejected.
7,000 miles and 5.5 years later, and he's putting 2 doors between us. That hurts. That's like stabbing me in the heart. I'm trying to be respectful, but I gotta admit, I feel totally rejected.
Outwardly, Rayne takes the disappointment, the bombshell, quite well. Having been gearing herself up for a night of passion, she now kind of reluctantly nods her head and accepts everything that Chidi's saying. Only, we know she's not going to put up with this for long. She may be patient for the time being, but she does expect action at some point this trip.
I'm hoping he just needs some time to adjust to me being around, because I didn't come all the way over here just for me to be alone.
Good night.
We already know that long term, Rayne has plans to convert Chidi away from his faith and open his eyes to Illuminati and aliens. But there's now also one more thing to add to the list of things she already wants to change about him. She's desperate, she's determined to get some action, and faith or no faith, nothing, she vows, is gonna stand in her way. But dare I say, that can only end one way. It's gonna end in tears and a whole lot of regret, isn't it?